As always, please retry this question before watching the video. There are three things you need to know to be able to answer this question. If you don't know the answer, please add it to your cheat sheet, master it, and go back 5 before continuing in the video. What are the three things that can be wrong with a clause question? First thing, punctuation middle of a clause, no independent clause in a sentence, clauses separated improperly. You must get these down. If you don't have them down, please, they will make your life so much easier. What must come before and after a semicolon? What must come before and after a semicolon? Independent clauses. Somewhere before a semicolon and somewhere after a semicolon, there must be an independent clause. What is the answer to this question? If it can be done without a comma, if it can be done without a comma, the answer is it must be done without a comma. If it can be done without a comma, it must be done without a comma. So let's take a look at these. Answer A. So in answer A, we have a semicolon. So we want to make sure there is an independent clause somewhere before and an independent clause somewhere after. So before, from London to Sydney to Los Angeles and Cincinnati, there is no verb. So there's definitely not even a clause. So there's definitely not an independent clause. So there is an independent clause after, but answer A is wrong because of, you could either say clauses separated improperly, or you could say, semicolon error, but whichever one, A is gone. Answer B. So we have a comma here. So we want to ask ourselves, can it be done without the comma? From London and Sydney to Los Angeles and Cincinnati. So we can see when we say that we do not need to pause. Therefore, this is punctuation in the middle of a clause. So we can eliminate B because of punctuation in the middle of a clause. We also could have eliminated A with punctuation in the middle of a clause. So both of those could have been eliminated with punctuation in the middle of a clause. Answer C. From London and Sydney to Los Angeles and Cincinnati, and there is punctuation in the middle of that right there. So that is punctuation in the middle of a clause again. So answer D is all we have left, but let's make sure it's right. From London and Sydney to Los Angeles and Cincinnati. So that is done. Now we have a subject verb combo, street pianos. So that is the start of a clause. So this is just an introductory phrase. Now we have the start of our clause because we have a subject verb combo. And so you can even tell you just need to pause here if you don't even recognize that that was a subject verb combo. And so this needs to have a comma. Even if you didn't recognize the first part of it was not a clause, it still is starting with a dependent clause marker from, which is a preposition. And so we know that this must be separated from the independent clause by a comma as well. So lots of ways to verify that answer D is correct. If this made sense to you, please add it to your worksheet, write what you learned along with the answer, and then continue on to the next clause 1 question that you missed on this test. If this is the final clause 1 question that you missed on this test, please go ahead and do the clause 1 mastery until you get 10 questions correct in a row before continuing.